últimos 3 anos, o Arco Futuro vem discutindo arquitetura e urbanismo a fim de contribuir para a melhoria do ambiente urbano construído e da qualidade de vida das cidades brasileiras. Buscamos sempre uma abordagem multidisciplinar, reunindo não apenas arquitetos, mas também empresários, cientistas sociais e ativistas do Brasil e do mundo para trocar ideias e experiências. Este ano, partimos das questões levantadas pelas manifestações ocorridas em todo o Brasil em junho para propor uma ampla reflexão sobre ativismo urbano, recuperação e transformação de espaços públicos e inovação em mobilidade.
Isso é uma imagem de uma colmeia que a gente desenvolveu no projeto que a gente conduz, que é a Rede Comunidade Integrada. E comunidade, tem uma discussão assim, grande, se a gente deve chamar as favelas de favelas ou de comunidade. Eu brinco assim com os meus amigos, às vezes acadêmicos, etc. Gente, vamos parar de discutir qual dos dois usar e vamos fazer e melhorar as condições? Então, assim, muitas vezes é muito importante trazer a academia mais para perto. E o IPP também é esse canal de diálogo com a academia, porque a gente tem um conselho de informações estratégicas da cidade, que é esse canal com a academia. Então, é muito importante a academia também estar junto. Então, eu falo parcerias público-privadas com o terceiro setor, que é o terceiro P de povo, e com a academia, que tem que estar mais junto da gente e das necessidades reais da vida moderna. Então, uma grande colmeia que se forma com o objetivo de a comunidade tem um interesse comum. No caso, é o interesse de desenvolvimento das favelas, que é comum à associação de moradores, que vê com maus olhos o servidor público, os políticos, ou bem, ou, enfim, o policial, o cientista política de esquerda. Então, é um locus, um tecido social extremamente complexo, e só através dessas redes que vão se interligando que a gente vai conseguir evoluir nessa agenda de sustentabilidade. Então, é a ideia de construir essa grande rede comunidade integrada. Eu acredito muito no mercado de capitais como sendo uma fonte muito importante para o desenvolvimento econômico, social e ambiental. E eu estou tentando trazer o mercado de capitais mais para perto dessas questões de parcerias público-privadas e com o terceiro setor, mais avanços, mais profissionalização do terceiro setor, enfim. Tem mercados, economistas gostam de mercados completos, para que a gente possa ter eficiência. E, certamente, existe muito mercado para ser completado para a gente conseguir avançar nessa agenda de sustentabilidade, e eu estou tentando trazer o mercado de capitais.
Joshua e Robert se conheceram em 1999, em uma associação de bairro, quando se discutia a provável demolição da antiga linha de trens. E, ao longo dos anos seguintes, eles se mobilizaram e mobilizaram a opinião pública e coordenaram o levantamento de fundos e as ações políticas que resultariam, na década seguinte, na criação do parque. É uma história muito pertinente. Nós temos 2 lugares nas cidades onde o Arco Futuro vai acontecer que são passíveis dessa discussão, com situações e contextos diferentes, e, de fato, a história deles acho que acrescenta muito aqui como uma experiência de muito sucesso.
So originally the trains used to run down the street. This was 10th Avenue, and it was called Death Avenue because so many people were run over by the trains that the railroad hired a guy on horseback to run in front of the trains, and he became known as the West Side Cowboy. But people were still killed about once a month, so they elevated the trains, and it was finished in 1934. And this was always mostly for freight. It wasn't, some people think it was for passengers, but it was really a freight train that serviced the industrial part of Manhattan on the west side. You know, neither one of us had any experience in this. My background in college, I was a history major. At the time, in the 90s, I had worked as a part-time artist, but also worked in internet startups, and Josh was a travel writer. People always assume to start something like this, you have to be an expert, or you need to be an architect or a city planner. And as we'll go through this presentation, you'll see how it was actually helpful not to be an expert. And you know, when we started, people also think we had a very clear plan of what we were going to do. But really, our vision was this was 1.5 miles of Manhattan that was running through our neighborhoods, and we thought something different should be happened. But when we started, we didn't have any relevant experience, we didn't have any money, and we really didn't even almost have a clear plan.
With all of those lacks of experience and expertise, one of the things that we decided to do very early on was go to an incredible graphic designer in New York City, Paula Scher at Pentagram, and ask her to create a logo for our new organization and a whole graphic identity for everything we did. So this is the logo that Paula created for us very early in 1999, right at the beginning of our work. And it did a couple of things for us. First, when we created materials and used the logo and the whole graphic identity, it made us look like an organization that was much more mature and organized and successful than we actually were. And the other thing that it did was it began to convey a message to people that design was going to be one of our top priorities, that when we ultimately did get the chance to design and transform the High Line, that we would design it at a very high quality so that you would have something that was as innovative and unusual as the High Line itself.
But in 2003, we wanted to start thinking about what we would actually do up there. But we didn't own the structure. The property owners were still suing us to tear it down, and we had no money to build it. So we couldn't do a regular design competition. So what we did was an ideas competition. And what we said, the ideas don't have to be realistic. They can be whatever you want, whatever you can imagine up there. And this is one of our favorites for many reasons. But it was a mile-long lap pool, running through Manhattan. And designs came, we got over 720 entries from all over the world. This was one from Russia that was more of almost an art piece. This was a political manifesto where you would turn the High Line into a park on the top. In the middle, you would imprison your citizens in the I-beams of the High Line, and then there would be a pool underneath. I don't know what the pool has to do with it, but this is, I think, taking off the word of high, maybe. And then this is an interesting one. This is really not looking at design of what happens, how you design the High Line, but what's the programming? What do you do in and around the High Line? And this, and we'll talk a little bit, this has become such an important part. The design is critical, but also how people use it is also important. And this is one of our other favorites, was the urban roller coaster. You look into people's apartments and then zoom down. Someone should build that somewhere. This is a project where we took people's pictures in front of that Joel Sternfeld photo, and then we pasted them around the community. So people could start imagining sort of themselves on the High Line. This is another side of the community. We weren't sure if this was appropriate to show, but we decided it was Rio, so we went ahead and showed it. This is a poster that Josh and I did. We did a talk called Behind the Bushes, The Secret Homo History of the High Line. Josh and I are both gay. And when we were looking at support, and we thought a lot of projects, how they happen in New York is sort of wealthy people on the Upper East Side, which is sort of the fancy neighborhood, decide they want to do something, and then it happens. But they weren't really interested in our project. So we had to look at who are our friends, who are the people that are living around the High Line. And it tends to be there's a large gay neighborhood there. And so a lot of our supporters came from this gay neighborhood. And it sort of created a different kind of support and a different kind of feeling than a lot of preservation groups had. It's already created $2 billion in new economic development and a variety of jobs and other projects. So when we first started the High Line, we thought the High Line would get about 300,000 visitors a year. That's how much a mid-sized cultural institution, the Guggenheim or the Whitney, get in New York. Last year we had about 4.5 million visitors. This year we might hit 5 million. And just to give you a comparison, so there's our 4.5 million visitors. The Statue of Liberty gets about 3 million. The Museum of Modern Art gets about 2.5 million visitors.
For us, I mean, first of all, the fact that the notion of keep it was not a given, I think, when we came to the project. And the idea of just keeping it as not only the structure and thinking about the wild spirit of the landscape, but we kind of developed this mantra that was keep it simple, keep it wild, keep it quiet, keep it slow. And these were things that we went back to many times throughout the process. In many ways, we sort of talk about it as an act of restraint. There was a lot of pressure to do so many different things here, and that didn't mean they could be wonderful things, but we tried very much to think about what was right for this very particular place.
And I think that's why it struck a chord with Josh and Robert and others that were evaluating the competition. We were so in love with what the High Line actually was and the ability to share that with lots of other people. It was really thinking hard about how design could come in here without overpowering what was there. How could it simply represent this to the public? And of course, we couldn't simply open it up because it would totally be trampled, and also the soil was toxic. Yeah. So things had to be done, but it was still very much about adaptive reuse and a certain kind of preservation, even of the ruin.
So I think, one of the things, they showed the 4 different entries, and we were one of them. And we took a very intentional position somewhere between this idea of total preservation. We didn't have this, in some ways it wasn't nostalgic, but there was something there that we wanted to capture, but it wasn't about just keeping it as a preserved, historical remnant.
If you took the entire surface and digitized it, I think that's the way we originally talked about it, that it's just pieces of space, and it could either go hard or it could go soft. And then it could be recombined in different ways, in different percentages. So there could be 100% green material, green landscape. There could be 100% hardscape, and any percentage or gradient in between.
And it was edge to edge, which I think is important. So it took over the entire space instead of having a sort of typical relationship where it's to the side.
And we're just going to zap through some...
We're going to take you on a walk since you can't go right now, but you can sort of see all of the different features along the way. So there is, again, this idea of this sort of consistency of the line itself, but with a number of punctuations that react to its adjacencies. This is one of the closest moments to the river, so we thought about how to bring water up to the High Line, how water would reveal itself on the High Line.
And also great exposure to the south and west, so great places to watch the sunset, and thus the lounge chairs are there, for sunning. These are some of the bridges and spurs. Some are inaccessible. This is one particular spur over 10th Avenue, which was simply made into a kind of audience space, and the steel was replaced with glass to overlook the traffic, on 10th Avenue traffic.
Eles devem receber prefeitos de todo mundo que vão a Nova York, que se encantam com o High Line e que querem fazer um cut and paste e literalmente copiar o High Line para suas cidades. Se vocês podiam nos contar em que casos essa cópia é bem sucedida, e em que casos, quando vocês veem, vocês falam, não é exatamente a melhor solução simplesmente colocar um parque em qualquer estrutura elevada.
Yeah, I mean, we get calls almost at least once a week, asking us for help or for advice. And I think the projects that are most interesting are the ones that say we don't want it to be just like the High Line. I think when someone says, "Oh, we want to build an exact replica of the High Line," I think that's not interesting, and usually doesn't prove to be successful. It's projects that maybe are inspired by it or inspired that something so unlikely can happen, but that take the context of their own neighborhood or their own city and what the people in that community really want. Those are the ones that are more interesting and tend to be more successful.
And just to add to that, I think that there are a number of things that make the High Line successful that are very particular to its structure, the way that it interacts with the city blocks of New York City, its narrowness, and also the kind of city that New York is, its density, We are dependent on private funding for most of its operations, so we have a very philanthropic community in New York City that allows us to do that. Not all cities have that kind of culture. So it's important to remember what are the things that are unique to the city in which a project finds itself, and that those things are taken into consideration.
Eu gostaria de saber como funcionou e como se deu durante o período de concepção e também depois durante o período de projeto e de obras, a relação com os entes de patrimônio cultural da cidade de Nova York. Se eles foram, se houve um diálogo prévio, se eles tiveram envolvimento e depois também durante o projeto. Eu vi, por exemplo, a questão ali das cores. Eu queria saber como é que foi essa experiência no início e depois também durante o projeto e obras com os órgãos de patrimônio cultural da cidade.
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, in the beginning, our first goal was just not to build a park, but was to stop it from being demolished. And one of the ways we looked at that was having it declared a landmark, or using. But people were not interested. I mean, people didn't think of it as a traditionally beautiful structure. The things that traditionally go through landmarks, and that city process is so controlled by politics. We were shut out of any opportunity of saving it through landmarks. Once we had that opportunity, we didn't want to make it a landmark because then it makes it too difficult, we felt, to actually make something really innovative. Our fear was that if we made it a landmark, once we had political support, then we would never have been able to build this design that we had now. It would have had to have been, preserved sort of exactly back in time. And then I'll let the designers talk about sort of the process of actually when we did go through it.
Sure. I mean, I can't even tell you the number of agencies probably involved throughout the life of the project. I mean, we basically lived at City Hall for the first few years, meeting with all of the different departments of transportation, of counterterrorism, of parks, everyone. So I think because it was unprecedented and people didn't know how to classify it or react to it or what rules applied, the beginning of the project was actually very much about figuring out how we were going to sort of file it even in the city, and then what codes would apply to it that we would have to adhere to. And we did meet with the historic preservation group, and I mean their biggest comment was actually the preservation of the rail tracks themselves, which was something that we had already integrated into the design. But there was a number of every different design stage had to go through an approval stage associated with it by all the different entities. And we had a matrix that was probably like 30 pages long of just the different people that had to sign off on it.
Em manter a perimetral e transformá-la num Highline.
Bem, vamos lá, eu estava aqui só aguardando essa pergunta. Eu acho que o que a gente tem de muito interessante aqui no caso do Highline, para a gente aqui no Rio, acho que até para as experiências brasileiras, é a gente poder observar um processo de apoderamento da sociedade civil, inclusive, principalmente do setor privado. Depois é uma pergunta que eu quero fazer para eles com relação à mudança do zoning da área. Na verdade, é um slide que ele mostrou ali, mas é muito importante para mostrar a base realística por trás desse sonho. Então, acho que o que é bem interessante no caso deles é esse sonho, mas que tem uma base de realidade muito bem organizada por detrás e aonde o zoning me parece que teve um papel fundamental. Eu acho que, do mesmo modo, quando a gente fala da perimetral, a base da operação e a base da transformação da região do Porto passa pelo resgate da Rodrigues Alves e desse patrimônio que existe ali e que é hoje oprimido pela presença dessa estrutura. A perimetral, acho que ela tem significativas diferenças de escala, de detalhes. O Highline ele tem uma estrutura metálica onde você pode observar de um certo modo um desenho, uma atuação da mão humana em cima dessa construção. No caso da perimetral, nós temos um outro tipo de escala, um outro tipo de tratamento. Então, a resposta é, obviamente, Highline já estava em vias, né, de acontecer em 2009. Eu tive no Highline em 2009 e eu estava saindo de Nova York na véspera da inauguração, e eu tentei pular a grade para subir lá, e um policial me abordou. Eu falei, acho melhor eu não tentar nada ilegal aqui, ainda mais como turista, e tive depois a oportunidade de voltar no mesmo ano e ver, de fato, o sucesso. Então, obviamente, o Highline já era, mesmo ainda da inauguração, ele já era um case interessante de aproveitamento, de transformação de infraestrutura. Então, ele era bastante conhecido pela administração da prefeitura. Agora, de fato, eu acho que não é replicável para o nosso caso da perimetral. Perimetral é uma via ainda viva do ponto de vista arterial, por exemplo. Ela ainda funciona como uma via expressa. Os carros lá ainda passam. A gente não está falando de uma infraestrutura que estava ociosa.